Transferring ownership in an LLC requires careful planning and proper documentation to avoid legal complications. Whether you're selling your business, bringing in new members, or restructuring ownership percentages, understanding the correct process is essential for a seamless transition. An LLC, or limited liability company, is a business structure registered with the state that reduces the financial liabilities of its owners. The owners, called members, pay an agreed-upon amount for their percentage of ownership when the company is formed. Ownership transfers in LLCs must be planned in advance. The operating agreement, the most significant document of an LLC, should contain provisions for ownership changes, including member departures, deaths, divorces, retirements, or the introduction of new members. Unlike corporations where shares can be transferred freely, LLC ownership interests typically require approval from all members. This is because LLCs are more partnership-like in nature, and you cannot force partnerships between people without their agreement. When transferring ownership, proper legal documentation is crucial. This includes a simple transfer of ownership form that records the change, amendments to the operating agreement reflecting new ownership percentages, and potentially updating information with the Secretary of State. The process for transferring ownership depends on whether you're transferring the entire business or simply changing ownership percentages. Bringing in an additional member or buying out a current one is simpler than transferring the entire LLC to new owners. A simple transfer of ownership form typically includes the names and roles of current and new members, the ownership percentage being transferred, financial terms of the transfer, and signatures from all members approving the change. This form serves as an internal record and may be required for tax reporting or bank account updates. State regulations for LLC ownership transfers vary significantly. Some states require filing fees and specific forms to update business registration, while others mandate unanimous member approval for transfers. Some states, like New York, require publication notices for ownership changes. Verify your state's requirements before initiating a transfer to avoid penalties. The tax implications of ownership transfers can be substantial. These may include capital gains tax if the sale results in profit, transfer taxes in certain states, and IRS reporting requirements since LLCs are typically pass-through entities. Consulting with a tax professional ensures compliance with all financial obligations. Buy-sell agreements are essential components of ownership transfers. These agreements determine how members transfer membership interests among themselves and should clearly specify all parties involved, their contact information, and the value of their ownership. The document should address whether a member is being bought out or renouncing their membership. After completing a buyout agreement, create an updated certificate of organization acknowledging the ownership changes. Ensure departing members turn in their certificates and issue new ones to reflect the updated ownership structure. Common pitfalls in LLC transfers include failing to update the operating agreement, not filing required state documents, overlooking tax implications, and skipping professional legal advice. To avoid these issues, have all transfer details reviewed by an experienced attorney. If your LLC doesn't have provisions for ownership transfers in the operating agreement, the consequences could be severe. Depending on your state, the company might be forced to dissolve if one member wants to leave. Additionally, if transfers are done incorrectly, departed members may still have liability for the LLC. For a successful ownership transfer, review and update your operating agreement regularly. Consult with legal and tax professionals. Document all changes properly and ensure compliance with state regulations. With careful planning and proper execution, you can transfer LLC ownership smoothly and protect all parties involved in the process.